Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the markets. Thursday, July 17th. I'm going to review my 0-day options today. I took on SPY in the small account challenge. Thanks for being here. One thing with small accounts that's not beneficial for training is position sizing. So when you have such a small account, yeah, you really should only be trading with 1 or 2% of your portfolio. I'm sure you've heard it. But when you have such a small account, that's not really feasible. I mean, it's not really feasible. Not with options. Unless if you're saying a small accounts, 10 or 15 grand. Anything, 1% of $10,000 account is, well, that's $10, right? So even that's kind of crazy. Or no, 10,000, I guess it'd be 100. Yeah. But still, so that's where it's not the best training. So I think I'm going to continue to do single contracts until quite some time. Because, yeah, with a small account, it's like you want to go all in on every trade just because it's such a small amount and just try and double it as fast as you can, which is nice, but in reality, you're going to just blow them up a lot more often. And that's probably not a good practice anyways to develop that. So today, good day. Actually, pretty good price action today. I think we had PPI in the morning. I'm not sure. Here's Eric's chart, SPY Day Trading on YouTube. You can check him out. He's kind of my mentor. I've learned quite a bit from him. Link for his Discord's in the description also. His is paid. Mine's free. So if you're serious about trading, give it a gander. At least check his videos out. Anyway, so it was kind of just a grind up. Not a huge range, but a pretty nice range and pretty nice price action. Really nice structure. Had a continuation as green, and then oh no, did I just do that? Wow, cool. A continuation in the green, and then sort of just kind of melted up to new all-time highs. Broke this bullish control. So yeah, on the 1 minute we had a few different opportunities. It's just got to be patient today. Kind of a mess on here right now, but I was a few minutes late today. Not too bad. Liquidity built this morning. This orange line is 5-day. 5-day when we opened was down here. This is 5-day on the daily, and yeah, kind of rallied out of there. Didn't have a whole lot of identification on what liquidity was where that time, so kind of was just waiting for stuff to set up so I could see what was going on. This was my first kind of bullish control right here, potential. So bulls controlling the selling to then break it out if they so desire. So that happened there. I drew this red one, which this was more of a trend line than anything, potentially, but I wasn't too sure. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff showing up early. This white one looked nice for bearish control up here as a kind of a tapering channel, and then we had this steeper selling right here on this more vibrant white. I think there's like a gray white, whatever. So we have nice liquidity here, nice liquidity here. I'm not taking puts, grabbing that liquidity just because this didn't make a nice head, and yeah, if anything, you could have gotten on the break of this white, but without a head on this shoulder and grabbing that shoulder, I'm just kind of leaving it alone. And at this point, basically, I'm waiting for it to close this inverse cup. Because it's coming down here. Another day where it could be liquidity rejection, and I'm just not confident enough to do it on the small account because I only got like 2 trades, but this was a very nice one right here. If you see, this was the wick on that low, which is in this area, as well as, so a lot of these lines are from later in the day. That's why it's kind of confusing. I need to clean it up if I can. Yeah. Okay, green. Yeah, if you can see that. So green right here, that I did identify this morning. And this perfectly bounced on green from this low a day, from the opening candle. Perfectly bounced on that and rejected that, and I did have those drawn, so that could have been a potential starter to grab there, or on a break of this white up here, grabbing this shoulder on this inverse head and shoulder. The only thing is it didn't have continuation, but if you had opened kind of right on that rejection, somewhere in here, you would have had about a point. 624.98 to 625.75, so almost a full point there. Of course, ideally, you'd want to see retesting the high, completing the cup, but it didn't. But then you had kind of a wedge, so as you see, this green and then the white was creating this wedge, and the white is from here, duplicated up to there. And let's see, I don't know if this orange was in there yet, potentially. No, it wasn't. That came in a little bit later. But as you see, it came down and retested that same green line. So another little inverse head, and there's a shoulder. It did grab it. I was trying to just stay out of this and kind of waiting for break of the white, maybe with structure, or just at that point pretty much just complete the cup, because the risk to reward's not great there. So I didn't trade anywhere in here, and I'm happy to sit on my hands. Protecting capital is winning. Basically, not losing is winning. Came up, did complete the cup, rallied through it, and then we have this same structure building. Same with this liquidity here, broke it, retested it, rallied out. Let me see where actually I did trade, because I did take one trade in there. Okay, so it was further on. So right here, could have taken calls on the break of this. I didn't like the risk to reward there. Actually, I didn't have this white at that point either, so the risk to reward was actually greater because it was to this green. However, since we didn't get an inverse head, all it did was retest the high a day, but it did grind down perfectly in this white bullish control, which was the same one that's here, right there. So could have taken on that. These are pretty small moves relatively, but if you're confident with it, you can scale, and that's kind of the point of all of this. To grow confidence, to be able to scale and have tight, precise stops and profit targets. So here to here, not a great move, but if you have more than one, you can take profit and leave one or two for runners to keep going. Did the same thing here, could have taken on that break. You know, you can see it start to build liquidity and then break it. Same thing here, came up, built liquidity, broke it. This one you could have gotten on a break or on a retest. None of these had a very big retracement, which made it more difficult to enter, more of a scalp. And then up here, let's see, we do have a bit of a head and shoulders for this pullback, but until it's grabbing like this liquidity or this liquidity down here, it very well could be bulls just building their own to rally some more. And sure enough, it was. Not to say you can't take those retracement trades, which I think actually, no, I didn't. So my first trade wasn't until 1243. Yes, I endured through all of that. Even though I did want this one and then that one, I was a little distracted today also. Again, people are sick over here, so I was kind of having to, I think for not that one I just flat out was like, I'm not taking that. I don't like, there's no inverse head. I think it was this one, or maybe it was this one where I had to kind of step away, but 1243. So my thinking at this point was kind of grab this shoulder, at least a retracement, maybe down to this white, maybe down retesting this high from before, but probably not that low because that could have been an inverse cup. However, just looking for the retracement, and came down, kind of made a little inverse cup there, which was what I was concerned with the handle. Came all the way down here. Okay, so here's my thinking. Here's the gold. At this point, I did have that gold. So that's potentially bulls building liquidity. And we broke it. Also retesting this white, which if you remember, that's our breakout to go long. So it broke it. Now it's retesting it. That resistance turns into support. We've got 3 times it's hitting support there. I had the right idea, just the wrong instrument, wrong time of day. Broke the gold, so it was a little bit of a front run because I didn't wait for it to break the white like it did here, and here. Broke the gold, wanted it. So that's when I got in calls, and these things were disgusting this time of day. Right there. So didn't get a great entry in hindsight, but at the time I was like, all right, inverse head, shoulder, broke the gold. I'm waiting for it to come up here. Might take profit at this in case this is going to continue down this trend. However, I'm looking for a high of day really. This thing just chopped and grind. Middle of the day. I got the contracts here. They were down this entire time. By right here, they were break even. Yeah, break even by here. I eventually just closed out. So even though it didn't hit my stop, if it's not happening soon enough, I could have closed much sooner, of course, but sometimes it, you know, even though it's breaking a channel, especially in the middle of the day, it needs more time to build out liquidity to rally. So this was a red trade. It was small. I kept it small. This is one contract, and it was 25 delta, so it was only 20 bucks. 109 I closed it, so I held that thing for like 20 minutes. It was painful. Came all the way up here, came up here. I'm like, I'm not, even though it did test that, I kind of wanted to close it, but I didn't close it till it actually broke this green somewhere in here. Yeah, that candle hit my alarm. I had an alert set, which was that low with that high. Given this green might not have been correct, because I think it might have been this white that was more in control. But yeah, so I closed it there, which honestly, I looked at it later when it was up here, it was back to break even. Or no, I'm sorry. When it was here, it was a plus $5. So it just was such a slow mover. Debit spreads, futures, sure, I can open it with whatever and just do a break even. It'll never hit it again. It just grinds up. Although this might have stopped me out, but yeah, not the right derivative instrument for, well, not the right instrument for that trade during that time of day, and without nice structure, without volume. This was kind of, I guess, because sometimes middle of the day we'll get a volume spike. 11 o'clock, 11:30, EU closes. Sometimes noon, sometimes 1, like on the hour. 2 o'clock, institutions start buying or selling. So there's all different times during the middle of the day where volume comes in, but sometimes it doesn't. And so yeah, that was the first red trade. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Like, I wasn't upset that it went up because this was such a slow grind. Actually, I checked when it was up here. That's what it was. Right here was break even. Up here, I was up 5 cents. So from 20 cents to 25 cents. So I didn't feel bad at all. That was crazy. But then this, look at this beautiful cup. This is really what we're waiting for. And handle. Now the question is how far it's going to retrace, and that's where these lines come into play and help you out to see it. Little shoulder up here, came down, here's your head. It's grabbing it on that green candle. More so on the next green candle as it breaks that white. Remember this white line, this white, same exact algo as Eric puts it. And it broke it. So cup, handle, Bob's your uncle. Game on. 220 was into calls. I got 2 of them. Just did the rest of the account. Unfortunately, that candle was so fast. So these are minute candles, but that doesn't mean this slowly grinded up in a minute. It was like 1 second, and then the rest of the minute was just up here. I'm like, I wanted to retrace, and then I just, yeah, I did an order at the bid, so I did get a better fill, but realistically, I wanted to stay in this red channel. Although, of course, it could have come down and retested this white, and I probably have I hopefully would have cut it maybe at that red. But it didn't end up doing that. But my entry was risky because I'm basically at high of day. But I had the conviction because it did break that, but did build liquidity. Had a nice cup, nice little handle here. So yeah, 220. So I was literally in it on that candle, and just kind of held through. Had 2 of them. These went from 25 cents to 40 cents. So there's the trades. You can pause it if you want. So I was right after that first trade, $5, and then this one nearly doubled. I think it was like what, 60-70%. 25 cents to 40 cents, whatever that is. So 220 sold. Did I accidentally do that? Weird, I sold them both. Huh. I sold them both at 228. What in the world? I wonder if I can't remember. That must have been an accident though. I maybe didn't realize I had 2 when I sold it. Because I definitely would have left a runner. What? Huh, that's so strange. Just reviewing it now, I'm realizing what happened. I don't think I realized I had 2. Like, I knew when I opened it, but when I went to sell it, I wasn't thinking I can close 2. Well, I mean, that's good also. Like, but yeah, that is a pretty awful error. Because I could have held one. I mean, I don't know if I would have... I don't know. That kind of sucks. The next one definitely went up more. But, oh well. 25 cents to 40. So, up not too bad on the account. And then, of course, out of buying power. So I started trading the big account and just continued the same formula. Breaking white, buying it, or on a retest. So, I don't know if I did this one. I did a couple of these. And then gave it all back in the final 10-minute move. Because it totally trapped me. This was disgusting. Made head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, and then we just get like 1 point candles. Just crazy barcoding. Yeah. Always scale down end of day. Just not worth it. I was fighting and just being so patient all day to finally get a couple trades here, and then it's just squandered right there. Yeah, kind of annoying. So 242, 44, 48, 51, 42, 44, 48, 51, 42. Yep, so breaking the white, little inverse head and shoulder. Got calls. I sold one because it wasn't going fast enough. So I sold one because I'm like, this broke my... I had this deeper red there, and it broke it. Sold one for a little gain, and then it started going. Yeah, so no, actually that was a 10-cent loss. 320, 310, and the next one was 380 at 248. So sold one here. I can't believe that. I can't believe on the small account I did that. I sold them both. I did that on the big account later too. I accidentally sold all of them instead of one. Man, user error. And then sold the last one here, like being this red candle was a nice fill. Limit orders on those, and so that was 320, 310, then 380. Or no, it wasn't a nice fill. I was trying to limit order and it didn't fill, and so I had to bring it down. It was 380. That was actually at 470 at one point, which would have been nicer. Then did the same thing. Let's see, 318. We're doing that. I didn't catch this one. It was too fast. I wasn't paying attention. This was like, again, 1 second. Oh, I think this was a stop out. What? Oh, this is a break even. Oh, this is one where I closed all of them on accident. These were puts. 318 to 322. This is when I closed all of them on accident. So the theory on this was kind of front running a little bit, but it broke back into this white. It lacked the breakout on the white. It kind of wicked up there. I guess it was kind of an intuition trade. So I got puts here, and then I accidentally closed all of them on this candle for break even. I meant to close one, but it's fine. It just came down a little bit more. This was a pretty disgusting close. Again, I ended up just, yeah, stupid. So yeah, pretty happy on the day though. Honestly, like, I gotta scale down end of day, and I was, but if the order's in for like $600 and it moves just a little bit, then it's $900. So it's because it's, you know, because the price is changing so fast. So it's like you're scaled down, but then by the time you actually go to execute it, it's way more. So happy with the result. Didn't really like could have done this rejection liquidity, even a break of this strongest selling, but yeah, it ended up just kind of chopping. So patience won there. For taking that one. I'm actually kind of bummed. I really had no idea that when I got those calls, I sold them both. Weird. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Hat money 6 round. Try and beat chill tomorrow. It's Friday. Our Friday trap day. Okay, see you then. Peace out.